Hey, John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I got this question. I'm not going to read the question this time. For these videos, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to paraphrase the question as much as possible. And then some of the other videos, I'll go ahead and read through the question. But basically, I got this question asking me, this gentleman said that he had gone through an interview process, had flown out for this couple of different interviews and interviewed with a few different people, and he got a rejection, basically saying that the team didn't feel he was technical enough. So his question was really, based on that, like when he's in an interview, right? How does he know what kind of depth to answer questions, like technical questions and like scaling up questions about architecture or algorithms, things like that? So I thought this would make a pretty good topic because this is something that I think people miss in interviews all the time, and I'm always hoping that when I'm interviewing someone that they'll get this right. So basically my answer to this is give as much detail, as much of an answer as you possibly can, so long as it comes from you. Okay? This is key, right? No one wants a textbook answer. If someone says, what is object-oriented programming? And then you spit off, a textbook answer definition to that, or what is MVC, right? Okay, that you have knowledge. Okay, fine. That's a good thing. But what I want to see when I'm interviewing you is passion and that you're thinking about something, right? That you have analytical skills to think about this interview question. So what I mean by this is that suppose someone asks you about some kind of algorithm, right? Or object-oriented programming or whatever it is, right? They ask you some question. Instead of just giving them, give them the answer, right? Start off with the textbook answer, but then expand upon it. You relate it to something that you did, to some example. Go in as much depth as they'll let you go. When they'll stop you, obviously you're not going to talk for half an hour about some interview, but show some passion, show that you're interested and that you've thought about this thing. Maybe don't even give the textbook correct answer, but say, well, most people say that this is true, right? But I have a little bit of a different take on this, and this is why, because when I'm actually working with quote, design patterns or this design pattern, I find that it doesn't really apply in this situation, even though, X expert says this. That's a great answer, right? The reason why it's a great answer is because it shows that you're thinking. It shows that you have, it also shows that you have passion and that you care about this problem, that you're going to analyze things, that you're not just spitting back, what some expert said or what the textbook says, that you actually care, you've thought about things. All right, so basically my answer is to give as detailed answers and be as passionate as possible. Communicate, more than just the answer. Communicate how you use the thing, what you think about a thing, right? These are the things that are really key. And I'll flip it around and I'll tell you why I recommend this and why this is so important. Is because when I'm interviewing someone, right, there's a lot of people that can quote pass the test, right? If I just ask one answer, one sentence answer questions and come up with 50 of them, there might be a few smart people that can just answer all the questions, right? But that doesn't tell me whether they're going to succeed. What tells me primarily whether someone is going to succeed is how passionate they are, how much they're dedicated to learning, and how much that they are able to use problem-solving skills to think on their own. Someone who thinks on their own is a very high asset, a very big value to a company or to any organization because they're going to be able to get things done on their own, right? They're going to not need their, when things do not go by the rule book, they're going to be able to figure out what to do. They're going to be able to improvise. So that's really the thing here. And plus, if you see the passion, right? If I ask someone about polymorphism, I love to ask that question because if they're like, there's a lot to say about it, and a lot to debate about it, and a lot of wrong views about it, right? If they come and they can, bring up some of those topics and talk about why it's hairy and why you maybe shouldn't, use it all that often, or why it kind of relates to inheritance, and inheritance really you should prefer composition and this is why, man, I'm going to hire that guy or girl because I know that they're really passionate about the subject and that they really care and that they're learning on their own and that, this is the key thing. So my answer, basically, yes, be detailed, show passion, show that you care. Don't worry about right or wrong so much, right? Too many people focus on interviews on, did I get it exactly right? I would rather, if you give me two candidates, one of them who got 50 questions right, just right textbook answer, one sentence answers to my questions, or someone who got like, I don't know, 75% of the answers right and 25% wrong, but they had real good explanations and real good thought processes behind their answers, I'm going to hire the person who had the thought, that had the better answers, who, even though they got some things wrong, because they can learn, and not everything is black and white. So, all right, a little bit of a long video, but I think this is a good one. Remember, when you're out there in interviews, show passion, answer in detail, and don't be afraid. Just don't be afraid to be right or wrong. Talk about what you think and what you feel. If you're wrong, you can be corrected, but if you show that you're thinking, that's going to be critical. All right, that's it for this video. If you like this video, share it to a friend. If you have some comments about this topic, leave them below, and please subscribe to the channel. Take care, and I will talk to you next time.